Bonnie Tyler says Tom Jones sings amazingly on The Voice. Sign up for free now for the biggest moments from morning TV. Subscribe and valid email. When you subscribe, we will use the information you provide to send you these. Sometimes they'll include recommendations for other related newsletters or services. Our privacy notice explains more about how we use your data and your rights. You can unsubscribe at any. The 69-year-old singer had a miscarriage in her early 40s and was never able to conceive again, dashing her dream. It would have been lovely if it had worked out and the pregnancy went ahead, but unfortunately it didn't. It is horrible when it happens, but you just have to get on with it, you know. Maybe I should have tried to have kids when I was younger, but my music career was doing really well and I kept putting it. Then when I did try, my body didn't hang on to the baby. But I have a wonderful life and a beautiful family. Before lockdown, I saw a lot of my 16 nieces and nephews and 14 great nieces, and we are all very close. My mother did a good job of bringing us up because we all get on, we all love each other, and we have holidays together. I know that I am very lucky. One of my nephews lives with us anyway. A lot of people say we are so close. We have become even closer in the pandemic. I also feel incredibly blessed to be with my husband Bonnie and husband Robert Sullivan, now 71, married in 1973. They are set to celebrate their 48th wedding anniversary in July, a month after the star turns 70. He is still incredibly handsome. When we met, he looked like Warren Beatty, smiles Bonnie, who met Robert when she was 19 while performing at a nightclub he managed in. She recalls she was instantly taken with him and still is. There was this instant chemistry between us, and it's lasted all these years. He was a former Olympic judo champion and continues to be a successful property. We have a dairy farm in New Zealand, 5 houses in Royal Berkshire, and a yard with gallops that we rent out to the jockeys. We also have a house in Mumbles, Wales, but in lockdown we have been staying in our house in Port. At 69, Bonnie looks great, but she admits to some surgical assistance. I've had Botox, darling, she reveals in her lilting Welsh accent. That is no secret, I tell everybody. I'm not ashamed. It's great as it keeps me. I have it twice a year. Last year I only had it once. When things opened up in the summer, I did have my forehead. It's really been amazing to give me that fresh look. I have it above my eyebrows and at the side of my. But you have to be careful and you need to have a proper doctor doing it. Bonnie says that her biggest fear is getting dementia, which her mom Elsie died with 20. When my mother had Alzheimer's, it was the worst time of my life, she recalls. It's a really terrible disease. Your whole system shuts down. You can't do anything for yourself. It was heartbreaking to watch her decline. Mom was always singing and she had an incredible operatic voice, but it was terrible because she had Alzheimer's. My father died a year later. He was 85 and had an aneurysm. It was so sudden, bless him. Ever since, I have been terrified about getting Alzheimer's, but luckily I haven't shown any. She continues, it was in the strangest way that I found out. A couple of years ago I had a bang to the head when I was going below deck and the door leading into the cabin came down. Wallet, on my head, and I was taken to hospital with mild concussion and had to go for a brain scan just to make sure everything, and it was more than okay. The consultant sat with me and pointed to a slice of my brain on this. He said, this part here is very good news. If there was any white dots on this particular slice, there would be signs of Alzheimer's. But he said, you have absolutely nothing. You have the brain of a 45-year-old. I was thrilled to bits. I hope he'll be going for another 30 years now. Bonnie says she is also concerned about losing. She has twice had surgery to remove nodules from her vocal cords. I thought my career was over. You were not supposed to talk for 6 weeks, but I'm a bit of a chatterbox, so I couldn't. One day I screamed out of frustration. When I went back to the specialist, he said I had damaged my voice and it would take 6 months to Eventually I did get my voice back. I went into the studio for the first time and started singing, and the band said, oh my God, your voice has changed. But my voice was huskier than before and had more of an edge. Trending, it turned out losing my voice wasn't such a bad thing because I had my first hit in America with my new husky voice, It's a Heartache, and went on to have a huge smash with Total Eclipse of the Heart, followed by Holding Out. I have a fabulous voice coach called James Windsor in London that I have been using I phone him before every show, from anywhere in the world, even if I'm in Australia, and we do vocal exercises over the phone. This year Bonnie, who was discovered by an RCA record executive while doing a regular gig at a nightclub in 1975, celebrates her 52nd year performance. She is about to release her new album The Best Is Yet to Come, consisting of 12 new tracks. It is the follow-up to her successful studio album Between the Earth and the Stars, which featured the likes of Rod Stewart, Barry Gibb, Cliff Richard, and Francis Rossi. I've been so anxious to sing for the past 12 long and scary months. I realize many of my fans have suffered with the virus and lost family and friends. My heart aches. Music has always been my personal retreat and lifted my spirits. I hope these new songs, the moment I can get back on stage and see my fans' faces, will be extra special. The best is yet to come. In 2019 she played to 40,000 fans in Portugal, with Cliff Richard joining her on stage. She was even invited to the Vatican that Christmas to sing Total Eclipse of the Heart for the Pope, an experience she will never. Now she admits she cannot wait to perform again. The last show I did was in March last year. I was at the O2 and Eric Clapton, Van Morrison, Sir Tom Jones and Mike Rutherford. It was wonderful. Then I flew to Portugal, the lockdown happened and I've been here ever since. But in that time, I've learned to swim and cook, which my husband is pleased with. I really miss my house in Mumbles. Once this is all over, I'll never take anything for granted. When I've had the vaccination, it is going to